What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the NFL Mock Draft Show. My name is Zach Patra, your host, and we are going to be talking about a few prospects today. We're going to keep it kind of defensive heavy. We're going to talk about a few of the cornerbacks, considering that we had quite a few cornerbacks drafted in the first round of this edition of Mock Draft Monday, which you can find up on the site si.com/NFL/draft. You can also find all of the shows listed on the page there. Make sure you give the NFL Draft Bible a follow on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at NFL Draft Bible. Be sure to follow me as well at NFL_Zach on all your social media platforms. But before we get into it today, be sure to give the show, give the rest of the shows too, a 5-star rating. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think. I want to talk about some of these picks with you. I've had a few good conversations on Twitter these past few days about this mock draft that we dropped on Monday, which you can find up on the website again. And there's some interesting takes here. It's definitely an interesting one here. You know, a lot of guys that I like. You know, trying to squeeze all these guys into the top 5. You got a lot of really good defensive line prospects. You got a lot of really good offensive tackle prospects. So trying to find where they're going to fit into the top 5, it's going to be really interesting. Do any quarterbacks find their way into the top 5? Maybe. Who knows? We got the combine this week. I hope you're all prepared for it. It's Tuesday today, so we're going to be getting ready to rock and roll here later this week. We got all the combine news and notes, the combine confidentials by Rick Saratella that are dropping every day here. So be sure you're checking those out so you're ready to rock and roll when combine measurements and testing all come out here. Those, I believe, what is it, tight ends and what are the other positions? I believe those are all going Thursday, so be sure you're ready to rock and roll. We got it all at the NFL Draft Bible on Sports Illustrated, si.com/NFL/draft. We got guys on location. Be sure you're checking out the Sports Management Worldwide SMWW guys out there in Indianapolis. And for everyone out there, I hope you're enjoying it. I'm not going to be out there this year, but it should be a good time. I know there's going to be a lot of great talent out there, a lot of good people to see. So make sure you're enjoying your time out there. Stay safe, and have some fun. I wish I was out there with you guys, but I'm going to be covering it live here for you guys here. But again, we're going to be getting into the mock draft here, and with the combine week coming, it's going to be really interesting just to see how a lot of these guys shape out here, what they look like going against the top guys when you look at testing anyway. See how each prospect looks going up against the top guys in the country here, and a lot of great talent, a lot of good wide receivers that are going to be at the combine this week. A lot of the quarterbacks. You know, you're going to see some of the quarterbacks really separate themselves, I think, this week, especially when you look at a guy like Malik Willis, who, you know, he's going to test really well athletically for sure. Matt Corral's not going to throw. I know, you know, we're talking corner. We're going to talk a lot about cornerbacks today. Derek Stingley not going to be participating in the combine. I know he had the Lisfranc injury. Evan Neal waiting for his pro day to work out. So, but you know, some of the top guys that are just that you're not going to see this week. So, you know, other guys are going to get a spotlight shined on some different guys here. It's going to be fun to see. But I think a lot of these corners are going to test pretty well too. So deep corner class, deep offensive line class. As I said, you're trying to squeeze some of these top guys in the top 5 and the top 10, and you're going to get some talented guys if you're a team sitting around the top 15 range, anywhere from 11 to 15. You're going to get some. You look at any other draft class, and shoot, man, they might be top 5, at least top 10 in other classes for some of these guys that are going to fall out of the top 10 in this draft. But a lot of good talent here. So let's dive into a few of the guys here. But again, make sure you go check out the NFL mock draft. It's on the site right now. Again, that link is si.com/NFL/draft. And again, we're going to talk a lot about the corners here. You know, I do want to mention, you know, I get this a lot. Every single time I do a mock draft, I get that you took Kyle Hamilton too early. Just because he's a safety, it's like you guys don't want to take him top 3. This guy, if he was an edge rusher and he had the skills and talent that he has at free safety, if he had it as an edge rusher, this dude would be a bona fide first overall pick. There wouldn't be a question. It'd be like talking about Trevor Lawrence going first overall, right? Like Kyle Hamilton is just so talented. So Kyle Hamilton went early. Go check out where he went there. I mean, if I am a fan of a team and they take Kyle Hamilton, I will literally be jumping for joy, man. You won't be able to hold back my excitement, my happiness. So Kyle Hamilton, I'm always going to draft him early. Just so you get every single Monday when you go check it out, just know that Kyle Hamilton probably got taken top 3 by me. Or at least top 5. We'll say top 5 for sure, but top 3 is where I'm sitting with Kyle Hamilton. But the first cornerback off the board, I want to talk about Derek Stingley. You know, he dealt with, like I said, he dealt with the Lisfranc injury. He's not going to be at the combine. You're not going to see him there. He's been a freak ever since he came to LSU. Like, they're just, the talent is, it's clear, it's evident. The guy was arguably the best player on the field when he was on the field. You know, I know he sat out due to COVID, I believe. I know he's dealt with some injuries. You know, all this stuff here. Now he's not doing the combine, so we haven't seen as much of him as we've seen of, like, you know, Ahmad Gardner, McDuffie, Kaiir Elam, you know, all those guys. So, but Derek Stingley, I took him 10 to the Jets. I like this pick here. I think the Jets could use a cornerback, a top tier corner. You know, you look at their secondary as a whole, they might lose Marcus May this year. I believe he's an unrestricted free agent. But you just look at Derek Stingley, just a tremendous athlete. And he played in a variety of coverage. He played off man, he played zone, he can press. He understands route combinations. You know, he knows when to pass off coverage and go to his next guy when he's in zone coverage there. Really great hips, good length, good size, everything you want in a cornerback one for your team. And I think the Jets could use a guy like him, you know, and it's – I don't want to say Derek Stingley's not going to go top 10 just because he didn't participate in the combine and dealt with injuries and you know, all this stuff, because he's such a great athlete. He's such a great talent that he's worthy of a top 10 pick. I'm almost wondering if he starts to fall, though. You know, where does he fall to? I mean, you got the Vikings at 12. You know, I don't think a team like Minnesota is going to pass on a guy like him. You know, I think that's kind of the sweet spot for him is top 12. And if maybe a team like Minnesota likes a different corner that we're going to be talking about next, you know, maybe he does fall to a team like Philly, who could, you know, get paired up with Slay. You know, Slay's getting up there in age. He's got an expensive contract, you know, all that stuff there. So maybe Philly looks to take Stingley at 15 if Stingley ends up falling. But in this mock draft, you want 10 to the Jets. I like the pick a lot here. And the next one we are going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about Ahmad Gardner. That's what we're talking about. We're going to be taking him to the Ravens at 14. That's where he went here. And again, if you want to check out this mock draft, it's up on the website. If you go at the very top, there's at the menu bar, there is a click button area for mock drafts. So you can see every single mock draft that is done, and you can make sure you keep updated on those, and you can kind of compare, see where guys are falling, see where guys are landing, their highs, their lows, their average there, where they're going. So make sure you're checking this one out. This one's going to be at the top of the mock draft section. Again, si.com/NFL/draft. And Ahmad Gardner, man, I'm going to be honest with you. This is my favorite corner. Derek Stingley is going to be my highest rated corner, but Ahmad Gardner from Cincinnati is going to be my favorite. Like he's going to be like my Greg Newsome from last year. When the Browns took Greg Newsome, I was ecstatic. I thought he was arguably one of the best corners in college football. I know you had Patrick Surtain. I know you had J.C. Horn. And I wasn't putting Greg Newsome above those guys. I didn't do that. But he was just my favorite guy to watch, Greg Newsome. Ahmad Gardner is he's the same thing to me, right? Like I like him a lot. When I watch him play, first of all, you notice his size. He's got great length. I mean, it looks like the build on him, it looks like he's got a great muscular frame. And when you look at the Ravens as a whole, I know they got Marlon Humphrey, who is outstanding. But again, it's good to pair these guys up with top tier talent. When you're sitting at 14 in the draft, a guy like Ahmad Gardner, who loves to play the run, the kid loves to tackle. It's clear. I mean, it's obvious this guy loves to tackle because he's always getting in the mix. You get some wide receiver screens and the dude's firing downhill and making a tackle. I love the way he plays in coverage, the ability to play press or play off coverage, and just the ability to attack leverage throughout the route. You know, he's going to make you uncomfortable throughout your route. And that's what Gardner brings to you. And he's going to bring another element to this Ravens secondary, and pairing him up with another really great corner. I mean, that's going to be huge for the Ravens. They could definitely use that added help there. But yeah, Ravens picking corner. I know there's other routes they could go. Maybe they go tackle here, but I don't mind the pick there. Now we're going to move to another pick here. We're going to go down. We kind of mentioned Philly already, pairing up a cornerback with Darius Slade. This time at 16, it so happens to be Andrew Booth. Talk about a great athlete. This guy has the makings of a cornerback one in the future. Just a tremendous athlete, really flexible lower half. And he's another strong player in run support. He does not mind mixing it up, getting the run, and making a tackle. And I like that in my corners. I like the physicality. I like the guys that like to tackle because it's an added feature of their game. You look at a lot of these safeties, they're okay in coverage, but they're really good in run support, or they're really good in pass coverage, playing single high zone or something like that, and not great coming down and making a play on the ball carrier. But when you look at a corner that can cover and play run support, I mean, that's just two very great things that you have. It just adds another element to the back end of your defense, and that's what Andrew Booth brings. The Clemson cornerback here. Do they need a cornerback? Not necessarily. Are there other needs to fill? They got another pick at 15. I'm not going to tell you who they picked. You can go check it out on the website, si.com/NFL/draft. But they did end up taking a different position, obviously, at 15. So when you look at 16, arguably it could be the best player available is Andrew Booth here. Depending on who you're looking at for rankings, you're going to see Derek Stingley, Ahmad Gardner, and Andrew Booth. Some sort of mix of those three, more than likely. And they're all probably not going to be the same. So Andrew Booth, arguably in some, other draft classes, you could see him being a top tier cornerback one that could eventually be a top 10 pick. But he's coming out in this draft, obviously. And we got to talk about him being a top 3 corner and probably, potentially fall into around the 20s. But at 16 here, the Eagles taking him. I think that is a fantastic pick. And just keeping going on these cornerbacks here. I know we had quite a few going here. And I know, again, like another guy that is kind of mentioned in that top 3, definitely top 5, but Kaiir Elam out of Florida. I had the Patriots taking Kaiir Elam. Now, this guy, I like him a lot. I don't think he's the fastest guy. He's got really good long speed. Like, he can pick up speed and keep it going. But it's not like he's not going to run 22 miles an hour like Tariq Woolen out of UTSA did at the Senior Bowl. It's solid speed. The size, the length, athleticism, and as I mentioned, the long speed, getting up to speed, picking up speed, the acceleration, the burst, that's fantastic. Very quick feet, physical at the top of the route. Again, it's kind of a theme here, right? Like the physicality in these corners, especially. I feel like Henderson, I'm spacing on his first name, Henderson from Florida. When he was coming out, the whole thing was he can't tackle. He doesn't like to tackle. He's not super physical. I almost feel like Florida cornerbacks are starting to get that stigma about them. Like they're talked about as like a not very physical group. But Kaiir Elam, I like the physicality throughout the route. He's not going to be the best tackler, but he's not afraid to get in there and mix it up. Again, he's not physical like Ahmad Gardner or Andrew Booth or anything like that. But there is good quality physicality to him. And at 21 for the Patriots, taking Kaiir Elam, I think grabbing another corner for their team here, I think is a key part of keeping this defense going. Man, you got Mac Jones, you got some pretty decent offensive line. There's a lot of things going well in New England. You can pick up a wide receiver later on in the draft with how deep this wide receiver class is. So I think we address the secondary and kind of keep building up what the heck going on there in New England. So Kaiir Elam to the New England Patriots, the Florida corner at 21 here. And again, I just want to pause and take a break. Make sure you're going back and checking out this mock draft, kind of seeing where everyone landed. si.com/NFL/draft. Go to the mock draft section. It's right at the top there. And again, this is Tuesday. We're in Combine Week. Every Monday, we're going to be dropping these mock drafts. Mock Draft Monday, as the people like to call them. So I hope you're enjoying them here. And then we're also it's me and our other writer, Rob Gregson. We're doing the team mock draft. So full 7-round team mock drafts. We're going team by team, one a day, Tuesday through Saturday, I believe, because it's mock draft Monday, and then we give you a break on Sunday. But so make sure you're checking those out. Go check out your favorite team, see who they could potentially select. The NFL mock draft database tool that we are using, we're partnered up with him. It's fantastic. He does a great job with the simulator. So if you want to go do your mock drafts, go check out NFLmockdraftdatabase.com. It's the only one I use. I think it's the best one out there. So make sure you're going and checking that one out. And again, make sure you're tuning in to si.com/NFL/draft. Make sure you're heading over to NFL Draft Bible on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Do not miss a bit of coverage for the NFL Scouting Combine. We got Rick down on location. He's going to be covering all that. So it's going to be fantastic coverage. Make sure you're checking back to the website, The social medias will be posting all the links for you guys, so it's easy to find. But moving on here with the mock draft, and let's just say that if the Arizona Cardinals don't take a cornerback, I think everyone will be shocked. It's a clear need. They don't have a cornerback 1. Do they have a cornerback 2 even? There's just not a top tier type of guy on their roster, on their defense, as a cornerback, that is. So when you look at Arizona at 23, they're kind of in this weird spot. Like if cornerbacks start to tail off a little bit, other teams start drafting other positions. Maybe they do get a more of a top tier corner when you look at a guy like Andrew Booth or Kyrie Elam. Those are all potential picks there. But at 23 here, Trent McDuffie from Washington went with this pick here. And again, they got to find a top tier corner. That's just plain and simple. They got to find the top guy. I love his instincts. You can't teach instincts. You can't teach football IQ. Like you have to already have it. You have to understand it. And what I mean by that is he can read and react to the quarterback. He knows when that ball's coming out. He reads the eyes well. He can attack and drive downhill with good burst, good acceleration, pretty good speed. Not terrible with size. I think the size is going to be a concern there. And he's quick with his change of direction skills. He's precise with his timing. There's a lot that he does extremely well. So Trent McDuffie, while I don't believe I have a first-round pick on him, I got a second-round pick grade on him. He's going to sneak into the first round, I think. This guy, he's probably going to be more of a late 20s pick, but with how fast cornerbacks went and when you need a position as badly like this as Arizona does, you got to take this pick here. So Trent McDuffie to the Arizona Cardinals. I like the pick. They obviously need a corner, so filling a big need that they have on defense there with Trent McDuffie, another great player here. Now, we're going to be getting down to the final ones here. I'll probably switch it up a little bit. I might want to talk about some of these wide receivers here, maybe some of the offensive tackles. But I think I'm going to talk about the final pick here to the Detroit Lions now. Whether they're in a 3-4, they switch it up a little bit, go and play. Maybe they play a little bit more nickel. Whatever they do here, Detroit Lions. I want to see them get another edge rusher and play. Being a Vikings fan, playing the Lions 2 times a year. They're not as bad as the perception is. Like they're not great. Obviously, they're not. I wouldn't even say they're really good. They're above average, I would say. And I think they're going to take a step up this year because you got Dan Campbell coming in, new head coach, first year. There's going to be some bumps in the road, but I think this is the year that they're going to take another step. Now, am I saying playoffs? No, because you still got the Green Bay Packers. You still got, the Bears are not a bad team. The Vikings are not a bad team. I still think the Lions are going to finish at 4 or 3, but I don't think they're going to have a top pick for the 2023 NFL draft. I think they're going to be a little bit better than what everyone expects. So they're drafted at 32 here. This was the Rams pick that they got via a trade. It's an interesting pick, I will say. But when I was down at the Senior Bowl watching this guy, it was clear that he needs to be talked about as a back end of a first-round pick, top of a second-round pick. Now, Carson Strong may or may not have went in the first round here. The Lions hold the second pick in the second round. If they want to address the quarterback position, maybe have Jared Goff for one more year, draft a quarterback. I think maybe they do it in round 2. I felt like maybe I could take a quarterback here, but I decided to go, and I'm going to butcher this name because I'm terrible with names, Arnold Ebiketie. I hope I said that right. The Penn State outside linebacker. I think he's going to fit really well in this Detroit Lions defensive scheme. I think, this is a guy who has great length, good size, good. He's got a good frame, good body weight, and he's explosive. He's strong. The ability to either drop back in coverage or rush the passer, play run defense. I mean, there's just a lot that he can do. It's position versatility that I like a lot with him. And I just want to see them add to this defense, get the pass rushing abilities up on this defense, make the quarterbacks a little bit scared to drop back in the pocket, if you know what I mean. I think this is a guy that's going to be a force in the NFL. I don't want to. So my guy last year was Odafe Oweh from Penn State, and now it's there's a guy, Arnold Ebiketie, who I like a lot too. Now he's not Oweh. He's not Oweh. He's not that type of athlete or anything like that. But I do think this is a guy that can pair well with what they got in Detroit. Again, great, good position versatility, great length, just his explosiveness, his power, and he's got decent bend. I mean, for a big dude, he's not like he's not stiff, right? He's not stiff, but he's not like super flexible. It's just right in between, right? Like it's good enough where I can work with it. We can work on it, get a little bit better at it. And the ability to convert speed to power. I love the power in his game. There's a lot to like with Ebiketie. So we're going to get down to the end of the show here. I just want to remind you guys, make sure you're checking back to the site here. Make sure you're checking back to the social medias. We're going to be tweeting everything out for the Combine. It's Combine week. We are almost to the NFL. The end of April for the NFL draft is going to roll around before you know it. Like the Combine even crept up on me. Senior Bowl crept up on me. It all just keeps coming and coming. It's like I thought there was more time. And it's, because you get excited. You get the build up. And now it's Combine week. I'm fired up for it. I hope you all are too. Make sure you're checking out the website, si.com/NFL/draft. Go to the mock draft section. Check out the rest of this mock draft. We're dropping these mock drafts every single Monday. We're dropping these shows every single Tuesday. Oh, by the way, sorry about last week. I know I didn't record last week, but I was out in California for the Hub Football event where they do the NFL free agent testing. Had a lot of scouts out there. Had a lot of great talent out there. So I didn't get a chance to record a show for you guys yesterday. But if you're not checking out the Hub Football, you got to go check it out now. The camp is phenomenal, so make sure you're checking that out. But make sure you're heading over to the site again. Last time, si.com/NFL/draft. Follow me, NFL at NFL_Zach. Yeah, ZACK. And then follow the shows. Follow the rest of the website, NFL Draft Bible, on all your social media platforms. That's going to do it for this Tuesday edition of the NFL Mock Draft Show. We'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for listening.